Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Virginia Brokers Roundtable. We are here with Tracy Brown, our favorite Virginia broker, where he will be going over some important planning for all of us. But before we get started, I'd like to just take a moment and let you know we offer these live broker opens once a month. They feature new tips and tools and compliance and a little bit of everything. I also want to tell you about our recently added live nationwide coaching program for new and experienced agents. Our national executive coach, Deanna Ferrone, is an active top producer with over 18 years experience. And now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tracy Brown. Tracy, welcome. Good morning or good afternoon,
Hi,
I keep saying.
Yeah, I think it's good afternoon here, Tracy. Good to hear from you. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can. Can you see my
Okay.
screen?
Yep, everything is fine. I'm
Perfect.
glad everyone tuned in today. We're going to cover, I think, a couple of house rules I think I need to cover to the agents in Virginia. Two things. Number one, it is extremely important that the agents in Virginia put their information in SkySlope as soon as possible. We like to have it in SkySlope within the 24 to 48 hour turnaround time. That's extremely important. And also, agents, if you're getting the buyer or the seller to pay your E&O insurance and your transaction fee, it must be put in writing and signed by the seller or the buyer and then attached to the contract. If you put it into the listing agreement, you need to let SkySlope system know where that statement is. You need to highlight that so corporate can see that when they receive the commission check, that's what's actually happened. If it's a buyer, I recommend you to write up a separate addendum, put that on the addendum stating that the buyer is paying the E&O and transaction fee, and state the amount, have the buyer to sign it and you sign it and attach it to the file. If you do not do that, there will be a delay in being able to pay you because it has to be put in writing and also endorsed by both parties. Well, that's all for the house rules right now. I know everyone is excited about ending this year and going into 2018. I know if you didn't have a great 2017, we want to go into 2018 on the right track. I want to share some information with you. I want to share with you real estate stats and figures to a more production in 2018. This is simple, easy, some information I read off the market and lending studies for the real estate industry. And I think it's going to be impactful and it's going to be very helpful so you can have a general idea to get a jump on the market. Now, everyone out there is running to Facebook ads. Everyone is going out to listings, and want that prototype buyer, the prototype seller. And there's a market they may be forgetting. But let's talk about some stats a little bit. Okay, this is very important. See, the home prices, what I found out, will continue to rise. From the CoreLogic study, they stated that there will be a 3.65% increase in home prices up to a 5% increase up until July 2018. So what does that mean? Yep, that means that when prices go up, less people can afford homes. We want to keep that in mind. I'm going to share with you some strategies how we can overcome that coming up with this message here. And we also learned that mortgage rates are expected to increase as well. The Federal Reserve forecasts predict the next rate increase will hit in December. That's right. The next rate increase will hit in December. This is the Federal Reserve forecast for December. So what does that mean for you? Yes, homes will be less affordable, but guess what? There's another group of people knocking on the door for home ownership. It's the boomerang buyer. You've heard of the boomerang buyer? You remember that boomerang? You know what a boomerang does, right? If you throw that boomerang out a certain way, that boomerang comes right back to you. So there's a new category now of the boomerang buyer. This buyer is going to be extremely important to you because those who are strapped for cash to own homes because of the increase in price, that boomerang buyer is going to actually have some money. Now you're saying, well, Tracy, who is this boomerang buyer? Listen to this. This was a National Center of Policy analysis here. These are the exact figures. They estimated during the Great Recession that we had in the early 2000s, 10 million Americans was forced into foreclosure when the housing bubble burst. Over 10 million Americans were. Now, of June of 2009, they began to come out of this great recession. Now we're finally seeing ease. There are about 1.5 million of these Americans today. This is by Investopedia records here. According to Investopedia, 1.5 million of these boomerang buyers who were owning at one time, they lost their homes. Now they're getting back on track. See, the waiting period after a foreclosure is 7 years. That's measured from the completion date of the foreclosure action until reported to the credit bureau. Now, if there's extenuating circumstances, you can cut 3 years off that. Now, these boomerang buyers is trying to get back into the buying market. Now, you have to know the buying potential of the boomerang buyer. So who are these on the rebound boomerang buyers? What do they need? They need low down payment programs. In comparison to the typical buyer, CoreLogic stated that the typical traditional buyer that's non-distressed versus the boomerang buyer need to know things such as the FHA loan process, because it shows here that the high percentage of them will be going after FHA loan. They want to know about how to get the lowest down payment, how to buy a condo with an FHA-backed loan, how to find out condo communities who approve FHA approved. They need this type valuable information in 2018. See, everyone is marketing for that traditional type buyer, but this boomerang buyer is slipping up on you here. Now, today, if you watch television, who are they going after today? They are going after the millennials and the baby boomers. That's the primary market. But that boomerang market is that Generation X person. Everyone is leaving out that Generation X buyer who's coming back. That's that boomerang coming back to you in 2018. This is some statistical research by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. It said the average age of the homeowner who lost their home through foreclosure during the recession was 45. So now today, we expect that average boomerang buyer will likely be in the early 50s. That's right, they have income. They're reestablishing themselves now. So they're that Generation X person who was that boomerang person, who's now that boomerang buyer. Now, guess what they're looking for? See, when choosing an agent, they're tech savvy. They still understand tech. They're pragmatic individuals. They want more than anything else the proof that you know what you're doing and you'll do what you say, and they want to know how you can help them. See, get active on social media as well, because they still involved with the social media. Adweek's report stated that 75% of that Generation X routinely rely on social networks and online reviews when searching products and services. Do you notice now everyone is talking about online reviews, online reviews? But guess what? Let's have this online reviews with these boomerang buyers, these Generation X buyers. Now, what about them? What are they doing? Let's understand the buying signs. Now, they are currently renting today. That's right, the boomerang buyer, that Generation X who's coming back, in 2018, you're going to find they're renting today. So your CRM management program wants to start targeting apartment complexes, condos, townhome communities. Aside from talking about financial benefits of owning rather than renting, let's talk about the state and local and national down payment assistance programs. That's what they're going to be into. You know the old cliche we use, tired of paying rent, own new home for $7.89 a month. That's incredibly powerful message to someone who doesn't know about the various programs available to home ownership. That's great, but let's tell them about the down payment closing cost program. You can own for less than 3%, 3.5% down. See, that boomerang buyer, keep that boomerang buyer in mind for the 2018 business plan. This is a huge potential and a pool of opportunity. Remember, 1.5 million are getting back into the housing market in 2018. That's the market that will be untapped because everyone is channeling the millennial and the baby boomers. Who are you going after? That Generation X, they have money, they're that boomerang. Remember that, boomerang. Everybody say boomerang. Well, that's my message for today. I hope you receive some impactful information today that can make a difference. And thanks, Allison James, again for making this possible. Tracy, the other Tracy, you have a great day as well.
All right, Tracy with a Y, you do the same. And Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And again, a huge thank you to Tracy with a Y, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a great day, everybody.